Good morning, crafters. This is Eloise from Paperfire Studio. I realize it's been a while that I have put up a video, not because I've been doing nothing. I've been doing a bunch. So I have some things to show you today. Some things aren't quite done yet, and I'll probably put in the next video. But I teased this up on another site on our junk journal community, and I had somebody ask me the other day, when are you going to show us what it is? So I'm sorry, I apologize it's taken me so long. It's just that time of year on the farm. So let me start off by introducing you to the prototype. Let me tell you that this one's labeled Nature. And a big shout out to Nik the Booksmith. This is using the basic frame of what she taught in her Lapbook. And I've seen a couple of other girls post theirs online, and they're gorgeous. I decided to do mine as an ephemera holder. And the reason for that is, my opinion, here we go, Paperfire Studio opinion. I did an ephemera folder first when everybody was doing them, and I did it out of cardstock. Okay. I don't know if it's just me or my studio or what, but cardstock can have a tendency to warp. And I'm not talking about, cardstock I keep that I'm using for my projects. But when it stands up on its side and it's on a bookshelf and it's holding things, cardstock sometimes isn't enough. And so I went to all that work and made that file, and no go. It's a mess. So I was on the hunt. What am I going to replace it with? Well, let me tell you what I found. This was my prototype, and you can tell it's a Reader's Digest book. So I liked the thickness of it. And the good news is this project takes up 2 books to make. And I will link I'm not going to go through how to make it because Nik does it. And she builds the framework for this. And you can see where I will kind of venture off from her. So this was entitled Nature. And it's a book plate that it looks like it's through the book, but it's not. I just adhered it to this piece of paper and glued it on. So here's what it looks like. She used magnets to keep hers shut, and I tried it in the prototype. No, it's so thick that it just wouldn't hold. And I thought, I'm not doing that in my project. And that's why you do a prototype. You learn what you like and what you don't like. So here's how it opens. And I'm using my pretty papers. These, I got these in Wimberley at a really neat crafting community. They were placemats, and they're pine trees that look like you could reach out and touch them. I mean, they're gorgeous. So I did some papers with Nature. I used that. And here is my ephemera holder. Now, let me explain some things about this. Nik does, a journal in the middle, and then she's got flips and flaps and all that. See, I didn't do that. All I did was take our regular vellum pockets that we use for our ephemera folios, and I applied them to the book pages, the book covers. I did cover the spines in my prototype, and I did it a little bit different in my other ones, and I'll show you that as well. Learned a couple of things in the prototype, which is why you do it. If you have little things that are loose, when you look at the size of the pockets that you're going to put on the pages, like here I have 3 pockets, but here I only have 2. Put your small items, the small ones, in the pockets of the pages that don't move. You see, these pages move. And because these are slick, they shift when I go to open it. So I learned, and I'm going to move these over to here and move these over to here. The pages that move, you want to make sure nothing's sliding around. So put the slippy stuff, the small stuff, on these middle two pages. Now you'll see here that these are my die cuts of my leaves. If you've seen my clusters, I use these a lot. But you might be noticing something here. That little holder with the dividers in it, yes, it looks like the Tim Holtz one, but it's bigger. The other one is so small for this project that I remembered years ago, I bought this one. This one's by Altenew, and it's called Watercolor Stripes Cover Die. I have no idea if it's still around. I'd hate to tell you how long I've had this, but you can see that it's much bigger scaled than Tim's, which is smaller. So this one gives me more space to do a die cut on that side. So you'll see that used in the other ones as well. I wanted to pass that along to you. So prototype, it worked. I learned from it, and now I'm ready to do the real thing. So let me show you what they look like. Oh, it's not like I haven't been doing anything, girls. I've been busy. All right, so here are the real thing. These are the ones that I completed, and again, altering them a little bit, doing them a little bit different. But boy, I got to use up some books. I bought these books in a set, and the covers, there's 2 covers to each one. So that's 8 books here that I was able to use and repurpose for this. So let's get to the fun stuff, because this is how they sit on my shelf. They face me like this. So you can tell that one of the ephemera holders is just for things with wings. So all my birds, my butterflies go into wings. Flowers, obviously. This one was fun. I put all my paper dolls, the found relatives, only I couldn't spell out relatives on the, so I did found folks. Yeah, so sorry, Tim, I changed the name. But all my people are in there. And then this one is labels and numbers. So I put a sample of a label and a number there. So let me encourage you. Think about this project. And I'm gonna chat in just a little bit about the contents in here. I hear a lot, and I watch a lot of videos, and I know that a lot of designers, creators, they're always hunting. They're hunting. Well, no, it's not in that one. Oh, well, wait, I've got flowers in this bag, and no, I've got them over here. Wait, I think I put it, and they're hunting. And that, for me, as far as breaking creative flow, does drive me crazy. It just drives me crazy. So that's why I got focused on one place. So these sit up on my shelf. It's right in front of me, and I can look at these, and when I'm ready to pull out one of them. So let me show you. Didn't do magnets. I decided I'm not doing the magnets. So I just applied some seam binding on some, sari silk on some, and they work perfect. It works perfect. So when you open it up, because these 2 pages come together, you don't want anything here. You can't put envelopes here because it's not gonna seal for you very well. You might try it. I didn't do it. I just left this pretty. But when you open it up, now remember, this one's labels and numbers. Let's see if I can get it all in here. Tilt that up a little bit. So you'll see that I try to remember my own advice and putting the little things on the pages that don't move so they don't slip around. But here, 2 pockets, and then this has 4 pockets. This one, 4 pockets as well. And then on this side, I decided to do an envelope for the overflow. You know, if you have some, you know, Tracy Fox comes out with a new page or 2 of labels, you've got place for a little expanding envelope here that I just used to tuck the flap in there. Now, the other difference on this one is I decided that I wanted these to be sturdy. The covers are book covers, so they're not going to warp on me. But I wanted to make sure that the spines, which I've used canvas, you can see here, I've connected them with canvas, but, and Nik will talk about that as well, putting something to strengthen your spine. Now, I'll tell you what I used is, this looks like that crap text. It's almost like cloth. It's so heavy, but it's not. It's Sizzix came out with, I got this at a convention years ago, leather paper. I think they still have it. I'm not sure, but they come in like 3 different colors, maybe white, black, and craft. I'm not sure. But I decided to emboss it. I don't know if you can see the embossing very well, but I embossed it just to give it a little bit of texture, and then glued it in so that now my spines are very, very sturdy. Let me take a quick time out here. And I want to say this in the spirit of helping new people, my new subscribers, be more productive, more creative, because a mistake that a lot of people who've been doing this 10 plus years know is when we're trying to add ephemera, the amount of choices that we give ourselves is amazing. It is books and books of labels and labels and more labels, and oh, I got a box of labels, and well, let me check this bin of labels. And when you talk about the creative flow, I would like to just give you a word of advice, and it's coming because I've made this mistake. Limit your choices. I mean, think about it. What project could you possibly have that that one of these labels couldn't work, and the ones that I've stuck in here? You've got red ones and black ones and blue ones and craft colored ones and ones with numbers and ones with writing, and you have different colors. You have longer ones, bigger ones, shorter ones, decorative ones. I mean, I had to force myself to really pare down and say, you know what? If it doesn't fit in here, I'm gonna stand back and use what I have. And you know what? It'll be gorgeous. I promise it will be gorgeous. Your brain just can't have too many choices, or it really, the creating process can get interrupted, and you're fiddling over some silly label. So that's why I want you to think about that as you look through these ephemera albums and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't think I have enough. There's enough room in there. Well, maybe it's that way for a reason. All right, and then I just did seam binding on here. The best way to just tie these, just lay them on their sides, and you can tie it, and now it's ready to go up right in front of me on my shelf. All right, real quick, let me show you Found Folks. And again, tied this one, did my paper dolls there. And this one, I had a little bit of fun. At least I could put a picture on there, for heaven's sakes. All right, and here we go. So I have these kind of selected together in groups by size. I didn't do it by gender. Forget that. But again, putting little ones in pages that don't move. So these are the hinges that will move. So now I have all my paper dolls in one place. I don't have to go dig for them. I don't have to wonder, oh wait, those groups just came out and I bought it. Where'd I put? I mean, again, I share your pain. I'm with you. But if you can't find a paper doll in here for the project that you're working on, really? Come on. Yes, you can. So, perfect size. That one's for found relative or found folks. This one, flowers. Now this one, okay, I might be a little sympathetic with flowers 1 and flowers 2, but I didn't want to do it. Now, here is your challenge with slick flowers. And where I need to rearrange this, and I'm glad you saw that, because the slick ones over here, watercolor, they're slick stickers, they're slick and they move. So I probably am going to take these and change them out with maybe this, put some more in here so this is held thicker. That's all. Or if I don't like that those keep sliding around, I'll stick them in here. I'll put them in my envelope here. These are some other flowers. I don't use those as much, but I still liked them. This is, again, the die cut that I mentioned earlier. I know some of you are looking at this and saying, Eloise, I have 10 times that amount of flowers. Okay, well, put your greatest hits in here then. Put the ones that you seem to be reaching for the most. And if you want to do flowers 2, do it. Flowers 1 and flowers 2, but at least they'll be in one place. And last but not least is wings. Now, wings, how fun is that paper? It's kind of fun to have fun with a page that's really going to do nothing, but you just look at it. So these are my butterflies. I have transparent Tim Holtz butterflies here. I have 3D ones that are thicker here. Here I put that die cut and stuck kind of the same size of butterflies in here. Here I have some bigger. These are just multicolored ones. Here, and I've got some birds here and here, transparent. And then inside here, I have the bigger butterflies that I don't use as often, but I have used them in the past. So there you go. That is wings, and they all fit up. I wish I could show you how they all fit up right in front of me on my shelf. Perfect. So that is my ephemera holders, and I encourage you, like I said, I will link Nik's, the Booksmith's Lapbook video. I think there's like 14 parts to it. Well, the beginning is all you need to look at. You know, again, she builds a laptop or a lap book out of it. All right, what else? I have some other fun things to show you. Over at Sophie's Notes, we were doing some garden swaps. And as I've encouraged people before, when you have to swap and make 3, you don't make 3, make 10. Make 10 and have some for you. So these are all of my zinnias that I grow in my garden. I did I did little clusters, little tucks out of all the zinnia pictures. And they were fun. You can see it's just collaging. The one thing about all of these is I used some fabric scraps to do a little top on them. Yeah, and my beautiful zinnias. Oh, I love them. I love putting them in my journal. And then here's the tag. I just took the cluster and put it on a tag. So, yeah, so those are fun. Got clusters done. But what I'm real excited about and to show you is something that, you know, when you try something and it doesn't work and you're like, oh, it didn't work. Well, this one, it worked the very first time. And I know if you are a fan of rust, there have been a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of videos about rust. But until you do it and you unwrap it, I was screaming. My husband thought I'd cut my finger off or something, but I was so excited that these beautiful rust marks showed up. And they're beautiful. I can't wait to use them. There's one. And this one was a bigger one. Oh, I don't know if I have room to show you. But this one, I mean, the marks on this are beautiful. And I thought, man, I don't know if this could get any more beautiful. Until I decided, hey, what would happen if I put it in dye? I had some blue dye, and I don't have the package over here with me, but it was originally Castile. I got it at Hobby Lobby in the clearance, so I don't think they have it anymore. But any dye that you want on your fabric, look at the rusting now with the dye. Oh, yeah, I screamed twice as loud for this one. Look at the marks and the color on this. I love coffee dyeing, but I get kind of bored with it. So I am hooked on rusting. So now when I go to estate sales, I always ask the lady behind the cash register, do you have anything rusty? And she sends me out to the patio or out to their garage. And it's hysterical. I mean, they think I'm crazy, but I'm buying rust. Oh, yeah, I've had these pieces too. Look at them. Look at them. I just can't wait to use these. So you will see some upcoming projects using this beautiful fabric that's been rusted and dyed. All right, we're getting down. I got, yes, this was at an estate sale, and I wanted to talk about this real quick. Again, for you new to junk journaling, when you go to an estate sale, oh, my husband just started up our tractor, so if you hear the tractor going, that's what it is. If you go to estate sales, I happened to notice that this one, the woman was very crafty. And so she had fabric, and she had a serger and a sewing machine and, you know, sheer lace and, you know, a bunch of stuff. And she had a lot of books. So I gravitated over to the books, and what caught my eye is the design of the cover. I just thought, oh, that's really pretty. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I could do an altered book. This one's a little wide. I don't normally do them this wide, but this is kind of cool. Thinking that I'm not going to find much when I open this because I don't hook rugs. And quite frankly, my mom used to do it, and we had hooked rugs, the yarn pictures all over the place. It kind of drove me crazy. But how to hook rugs. What could possibly be inside? Well, how about let's start with this. This was just sitting inside the book. It's little bundle samples of yarns, yarn colors, I guess. Yeah. These are very old samples. So that was a little bonus. And I'm looking at the pages, and the pages are kind of ratty. Yeah, kind of ratty. But here's a color wheel in here, and I didn't look for the copyright on this yet. But look what I found. Oh, 1952. But look what I found when I opened this book. Now remember, I don't like to hook rugs. I don't really care for the way they look, just me personally. I would have walked past this book. And I want to encourage you, be nosy about what's in these books. They show the hook, I guess the numbers, so you get the yarn right on where it goes. But then they give you a black and white sketch of what it's supposed to look like. Look at the sketches. There, and this paper is heavy, beautiful paper. Look, yeah, look at this. Look at the picture. It's kind of hard to see with the lights. But the pictures in here are gorgeous. Gorgeous. And of course the book was like $2 or something, and I just put it in my little sack and thought, well, here's the find of the day. So I want to encourage you, look for books that may not necessarily say flowers on them or, you know, botanicals, because those books we know are always pretty valuable. But have the courage to look through books. You never know. You never know. Last but not least, I want to explain and show where I got this. This is a sample, and I hang it on one of the pegs in my studio here. And all these are is linen little samples in all these colors and patterns. Look at the, in fact, it's still off the page. It still goes and goes and goes. Now, I don't know if you've ever found sample books like this and how much you have to pay for them, but I want to introduce you to, for those of you who live, and it's usually near a medium-sized city. Big cities have them, and it's the Creative Reuse Store. Whenever I travel, I used to travel when my husband would travel, and we'd go to Colorado. Colorado has them. You look them up on your phone and just put in Creative Reuse Store and see where they are. If they're close to you, you probably already know about them. But let me explain what they are. This is a store that I believe it's a nonprofit. I think they rely on donations, and it's for creatives. It's artists. It's every art you could possibly imagine is in that store. And it's all in baskets. They have, crayons and artist brushes, and people donate stuff. Well, a lot of stores donate to Creative Reuse. They have wallpaper books and sample books and these linen little flaps. And I've gotten, I can't tell you, you'll go in and spend $40 and half of your car will be full. I mean, the pricing is ridiculous. They have vintage books there, where you would normally pay maybe $10 for that book. It's $2. I mean, it's just crazy. but it is my favorite place. Artists hang out there. So I always bring in a sample of a journal. I kind of always want to talk to people. We share YouTube videos. What are you watching and who's good and what do you enjoy? It is the most wonderful creative place, and it's called Creative Reuse Store. So, but I want to encourage you, when you go, take a donation. You know, all that stuff you're destashing? Well, you want to sell it, that's fine. But I would like to encourage you to put it in a box, put it all in a box, and find your nearest creative reuse and take it. Take it and let them resell it. It's a wonderful place. I just love it. So that is all my secrets today that I have shared with you about what's going on in the Paperfire studio. I have a journal that I'm working on now that I am so excited about. I don't know when I've been this excited about making a journal again. So that's coming up. I am excited that you have joined me for what is seemingly a chatty video. But I promise we'll get going, moving on some more projects. If you're new for the first time and you're looking at Paperfire Studio, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. If you want to be on top of the next video, please hit the bell so you don't miss another episode of Paperfire Studio. Thanks, you all. Go make it a great day.